Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to zoom in, like way, way in, to get to the bottom of a huge question. What makes you, well, you?
And no, I'm not talking about your personality or your hopes and dreams. I mean, what are you physically made of? If you could shrink down, like way down, and see the most basic building blocks of your body, what would you even see? Well, let's go find out.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to start with a simple, but honestly, a really powerful analogy. Let's just forget about biology for a second and think about, well, buildings.
I want you to imagine that your body is like a gigantic, bustling apartment building, okay? Now, in this huge building, all the individual units, the tiny rooms that make up the whole thing, those are what we call cells. But here's the thing, a cell isn't just some empty box. It's a living, breathing, working room. In fact, it's the absolute smallest part of you that's actually alive. And get this, every single thing your body does, thinking, moving, breathing, it all happens inside these tiny little spaces. And we're not talking about a few of them. You've got trillions. Just look at that number, 30 trillion. That's a 3 with 13 zeros after it. It's an absolutely mind-boggling number, right? Almost impossible to really picture. And every single one of those is a tiny working part of, well, you.
All right, so we've got trillions of them. That obviously means they have to be ridiculously small. But just how small are we talking about? Let's try to put that into perspective.
Okay, to really get a sense of the scale, just picture a single strand of your hair. Got it? You could line up about 100 of your cells side by side just to get from one edge of that single hair to the other. I mean, that is just truly microscopic. So now that we kind of have an idea of just how tiny these things are, let's take a little tour, shall we? We're going to shrink our cells down, pick one of those 100 cells on that piece of hair, and actually see what's going on inside. The very first thing we'd run into is the outer wall, which is called the cell membrane. Just think of it like the walls in the front door of our little room. And it's not just any wall, it's super selective, kind of like a really strict door guard at a fancy club, It decides what gets to come in and what has to get out. Okay, so once we get past that bouncer, we find ourselves floating around in this jelly-like stuff. This is called the cytoplasm. And it's not just empty goo. It's a thick, soupy world where all the cell's tiny tools and machines are just floating around, getting their work done. And then, right there in the middle, we find the most important part of all, the nucleus. Think of it as the boss's office. This is mission control for the whole operation. It holds the master blueprint for your entire body, your DNA. That's all the instructions for how to build you and how to run you. But this is where it gets really cool. Not all of these tiny rooms are the same. Not even close. Your body isn't just one big, boring apartment block where every room is identical. No, it's much more like a huge, bustling, diverse city. I mean, think about it. For any city to work, you need all sorts of different people with different skills, right? You need drivers, builders, messengers, the whole shebang. Well, your body is exactly the same. It completely relies on this incredible team of specialized cells. So, for example, your muscle cells, they're long and tough, kind of like little ropes, designed to pull and help you move. Then you've got nerve cells, which are basically living electrical cables, zapping messages around your body in a split second. Your blood cells are like the delivery trucks of the city, cruising through your veins, dropping off oxygen. And your skin cells, they all link up to form a tough protective wall against everything on the outside. Okay, so we've seen these tiny cells and all their different jobs, but so what? Why does any of this microscopic drama actually matter to you in your day-to-day life? Well, let's connect those dots. What's really incredible is that your cells are always working. They never take a break. Even right this second, as you're listening to me, there is a whole universe of activity happening inside you. Seriously, your cells are repairing stuff, fighting off germs, and swapping out old parts for new ones, 24/7. Here's a super simple example. Imagine you get a paper cut. Ouch! That wall of your skin cells has just been broken. Instantly, the healthy cells right next to the cut get an emergency signal, and they jump into action. They start dividing, one cell splits into two, those two become four, and on and on. They just keep going, rapidly building new skin to fill in the gap. It's like a perfectly organized construction project, carried out by millions of tiny little builders. Okay, you ready for a quick pop quiz to see what's sticking? First question. Based on that main analogy we used, cells are like
what in our body? Is it A, cars, B, tiny rooms, or C, sandwiches? The answer is, of course, B. They're the tiny rooms in the giant building that is you.
All right, question number 2. What's the boss office inside a cell called? You know, the control center with all the DNA instructions. Is it A, nucleus, B, noodle, or C, notebook? And the correct answer is A, the nucleus. And last one for you. True or false? All the cells in your body look and work exactly the same. What do you think? That one is definitely false. Remember our city of specialists? Your muscle cells and nerve cells and blood cells are all totally different. So, let's just boil this all down to the 3 big things to remember. First, your body is made of trillions of tiny living rooms called cells. Second, each of those rooms has the same basic parts: the walls, the jelly, and the boss's office. And third, different cells have different jobs, just like specialized workers in a giant city. Simple as that.
I love this idea. You are a walking, talking city of cells. It just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? You're not just one single thing. You are a huge, moving, thinking city, and it's populated by trillions of tiny living citizens, your cells. And that's really the big secret here, isn't it? All the incredible complexity that makes up a person, it all just boils down to teamwork on a mind-blowingly small scale. It's just a massive, coordinated team of tiny living things all working together for one single purpose: to keep you going.
But you know, this is really just scratching the surface. We've basically just opened the door to one tiny room in the enormous building of you. So where should we go next? Do we dive into the boss's office and check out the DNA? Or maybe we should figure out how these cells actually make energy? The world inside you is absolutely huge. So now you tell us, what do you want to explore next?